And welcome back. For the fourth consecutive month, Corelogic downgraded their housing market forecast over the next 12 months. So in today's video, I'm going to give you all the latest details regarding this latest forecast from Corelogic. I'm also going to be sharing the states in the US that have the highest rates of home prices increasing and also the lowest rates as well. And also stick to the end of this video because I'm going to be sharing the top 5 cities that Corelogic predicts they're at the greatest risk of home prices decreasing over the next 12 months. And by the way, whether you're looking to buy or sell a house anywhere in the US, then check out that link below, which is homeandmoney.com/Jason to get started today. And with that said, let's begin today's video though. This is again what's just announced today at the time of this video, which is September 6th. I can't believe it's September already. Anyways, this is based on their forecast through July 2023, and they also provide some insights regarding home prices as of July 2022. And Corelogic has what's called their HPI, or their home price index, and this provides an early indication of home price trends. And this report here is published monthly, and they provide insights regarding home prices at a national level as well as a state level. And they also provide some trends we're seeing regarding home prices for the 10 largest cities in the US. According to Corelogic, on a national level, home prices increased on a year-over-year basis by 15.8% in July 2022 compared to July 2021. Here's a very important stat here because on a month-over-month basis, home prices declined by 0.3%. Now, I know what you're thinking. A decrease of home prices on a month-over-month basis by only 0.3%, according to Corelogic, may sound insignificant. But take a look at this because according to Corelogic, this is a trend not seen between 2010 and 2019. The long-term average for home prices from June to July of each year is actually a 0.5% increase, not a 0.3% decrease. In other words, it's very unusual for home prices to decrease this time of the year here. And of course, data can change, and I'll definitely keep you posted. Now, before I share their latest housing market forecast through July 2023, I want to give you guys some context regarding their previous forecasts. From April 2022 to April 2023, they were calling for a 5.6% increase in home prices. And by the way, this was the first year-over-year downgrade to their forecast so far this year. And this is actually down from 5.9% from the previous month, which is March to March. Then the next month in May 2022 through May 2023, they called for a 5% gain in home prices, and that was the second consecutive downgrade to their year-over-year forecast here. Then in June, they called for a 4.3% increase in home prices, and that was the third consecutive downward revision, and also close to long-term averages for home prices. Long-term averages are in the range of 3 to 6% per year. And now their latest forecast, which is July 2022 to July 2023, is now calling for a 3.8% increase. And again, this is their fourth consecutive downward revision to their 12-month housing market forecast here. And at 3.8%, this is more or less in line with long-term averages for home price growth. And here's how their real estate market forecast compares to current levels right now. So their forecast is calling for a 3.8% increase on a year-over-year basis, but right now, at least for July 2022, we have a 15.8% increase in home prices. Also on a month-over-month basis, they're calling for a 0.3% increase in home prices, which I'm kind of scratching my head regarding this because from June to July of this year, home prices, according to Corelogic here, decreased by 0.3%. So I'm really not too sure why they're calling for home prices to increase from July to August of this year, given the fact that mortgage rates are around 6% right now. But what do you guys think? Comment below. And here's a graph showing the percent change on a year-over-year basis thanks to Corelogic's HPI and also their Case-Shiller index, which of course are all based on home prices here. And this is going back to January of 2000. So their HPI is the orange bars here, and their Case-Shiller index, both again based on home prices, is this dark blue line right here. Their forecast is right here though. So their HPI forecasts are these red bars here. And their forecast for their Case-Shiller index is this light blue line right here. So what caught my attention regarding this is this huge uptick in home prices ever since 2020, really ever since the middle of 2020. Of course, home prices shot up greatly, but take a look at that because home prices have started to go down. but the current forecast over the next 12 months, take a look at this, because the levels right there are the lowest levels since approximately 2000, but before that, really all the way going back until approximately 2012 and 2013 for the growth rate of home prices on a year-over-year basis. Therefore, the real estate market predictions for home prices over the next 12 months is in the lower range of historical averages. Corelogic went on to say the following here. As 30-year fixed-rate mortgages neared 6% this summer, homebuyers pulled back, helping ease overheated and unsustainable price growth. Notably, of course, home prices declined by 0.3% from June to July of this year, a trend not seen between 2010 and 2019 when price increases averaged 0.5% between these 2 months. So in other words, home prices actually declined by 0.3% during this time frame when we should have expected a 0.5% gain. But looking ahead, Corelogic expects a more balanced housing market. They're expecting home price gains to slow to 3.8% by July 2023. In regards to mortgage rates, here's an update for you guys because mortgage rates have been very volatile over the past week now. So the yield on the 10-year U.S. Treasury note increased by almost 14 basis points. The yield is now at 3.3%. This caused mortgage rates today to increase to 6.25%. That, of course, is for a conventional loan for people with exceptional credit. And FHA loans, a 30-year fix is 5.55%, and VA loans is 5.62%. And by the way, the average rate right now at 6.25%. If you exclude the rates we saw in the middle of June when rates were about 6.28%, if you exclude that, we're at the highest rates we've seen since 2008. On top of that, rates have increased by 3.3 percentage points in one single year. And this could be one main reason why the housing market could slow down further in the months to come. The deputy chief economist for Corelogic touched on this. She said, following June's surge in mortgage rates and the resulting dampening effect on housing demand, price growth is taking a decisive turn. And even though annual price growth remains in double digits, the month-over-month decline suggests further deceleration on the horizon. The higher cost of homeownership has clearly eroded affordability, as inflation-adjusted monthly mortgage expenses are now even higher than they were during the former peak in 2006. Let me briefly touch on her quote here that we're seeing annual home price gains in the double digits because it depends on what time frame you're looking at. Again, this report here is based on July's data. If you actually go onto Redfin's website though, for the 4 weeks ending August 28th, which is more or less the entire month of August, we're seeing home price gains in the range of 6% on a year-over-year basis. This is quite the deceleration in annual home price growth though, because back in June, we were seeing 12% gains on a year-over-year basis. Okay, changing gears slightly, I want to share the states within the US, of course, that experienced the highest rates of home prices increasing on a year-over-year basis, and also the states that are experiencing the lowest rates. And to touch on that, for July 2022, no states posted a decrease in home prices on a year-over-year basis. In fact, the states that had the highest rates of home prices were actually in Florida, a 29.6% gain in home prices from July 2021 to July 2022. That was followed by South Dakota, increasing by 23.7%, and then Tennessee increasing by 23.2%. And here are the top 10 states that saw the biggest increases in home prices on a year-over-year basis. Again, look at this. Florida leading the pack by far, almost increasing by 30% from July 2021 to July 2022. That was followed by South Dakota, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and then lastly, in number 10 place, Texas, a 17.8% gain in home prices. Here's a map of the US showing home price gains over the last 12 months here. So as you can see here in Arizona, South Dakota, and also these southern states here, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and also in Florida, they experience home price gains over 20%. But take a look at Washington, D.C., because this is the only state that saw home price gains of less than 5%. When looking at this map right here, most states experience home price gains in the range to 10 to 15% and not over 20%. But we also saw some states, or 3 states here, that saw gains only in the range of 5 to 10%. That was in North Dakota, Minnesota, as well as New York. Corelogic also provides some insights regarding home prices for the 10 biggest cities in the US. And also, of course, stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing the top 5 cities that they believe that home prices are going to be decreasing over the next 12 months. Miami, Florida experienced the biggest increases in home prices on a year-over-year basis, increasing by 27.1%. Also in Phoenix, Arizona, increasing by 22.1%. Las Vegas, increasing by 21.6%. San Diego, a lot of people ask about San Diego. Prices increased by 17.2% there. And in stark contrast, Chicago only saw gains of 10%. Washington, D.C. saw gains of 8.1%. And Boston, gains of 10.2%. And lastly, according to Corelogic, here are the top markets at risk of home prices decreasing over the next 12 months. Number one spot is in Bremerton or Silverdale, Washington, a very high probability that home prices are going to decrease over the next 12 months. That was followed by the Crestview area in Florida, a very high probability as well of home prices decreasing over the next 12 months, followed by Bellingham, Washington, also a very high probability as well. And then Reno, Nevada, and also Boise City, Idaho. And of course, comment below your biggest takeaways from today's video. Also, if you got any value in this video whatsoever, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you guys have an awesome day and look forward to seeing you on the next video.